You know that feeling when everyone doubts you, when the season feels like it's slipping away, and the narrative is already written before you even step onto the court? That was exactly the atmosphere surrounding the Golden State Warriors, right up until a 37-year-old Stephen Curry walked into the building and tore the entire script apart. Before we dive into this unbelievable performance, make sure you subscribe to Eerie Glow, drop a like on the video, and hit the notification bell, because here we break down every twist, every rumor, and every emotional moment of this Warriors journey. The truth is simple. Tension was already boiling. Coming off an embarrassing loss to OKC, the Warriors ended the night at 6-6, searching for something that could shift the momentum of their season. The locker room was tight. The frustration was real. The doubts were louder than ever. And to make things even worse, they were about to face Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs, a team that had been dominating, a team that looked like the future of basketball, a team built around a prospect people are already calling the greatest in NBA history. Wembanyama had been crushing opposing offenses, wiping shots out of the air like they were nothing, and completely controlling the pace of games. But what nobody expected was that a 6 feet 2 inches, 37-year-old on the second night of a back-to-back would step onto the floor and completely rewrite the narrative. From the opening moments, the Warriors looked flat, down double digits early in the second half. The game had the familiar feeling of slipping away, just like so many rough nights this season. But that's when Stephen Curry did what Stephen Curry has done for more than a decade. He found fire where no one else could. His off-ball movement became sharper, his reactions quicker, and suddenly the Spurs, this young, long, athletic, well-coached defensive team, couldn't track him. It didn't matter if Wembanyama's arms stretched across half the court, or if Castle chased him full speed through multiple screens. Steph relocated, caught, fired, and punished every inch of space he created. That comeback didn't begin with one shot. It began with a chain reaction that only Steph can produce. He moved without the ball, pulled defenders out of position, used micro-hesitations to freeze Wemby for half a second, and then created the tiniest window he needed. And even when Wembanyama closed out with those unbelievable angles, Steph still hit the shot. Fadeaways, step backs, drifting threes, contested threes, heavily contested threes. It didn't matter. His shooting wasn't just elite, it was supernatural. The type of run that tilts the entire energy of an arena. But what made this performance even more shocking was that Curry wasn't just hitting threes. He attacked the mid-range, knifed through the defense, and finished at the rim against one of the best shot blockers the league has seen in a decade. And when Steph starts driving, when he starts adding layers to his scoring beyond the arc, defenses break down. Even Wembanyama, arguably the most intimidating rim protector in the NBA, couldn't erase him. Curry even earned rare free throws, something fans joke he never gets, and he made every single touch around the basket look like art. Then came the explosion. 22 points in the third quarter. 22 points fueled by movement, precision, and absolute confidence. Every possession felt like a dagger. Every shot felt like a message. And every person watching felt the shift in real time. This wasn't just a hot stretch. This was one of those Steph Curry nights that remind the entire league who he is. Not just the greatest shooter ever. Not just the face of a dynasty, but one of the most unstoppable offensive engines the game has ever seen. By the end of the night, the stat line felt unreal. 46 points at 37 years old. 46 against Victor Wembanyama's length. Castle's relentless pursuit, and an elite defensive structure designed specifically to slow stars down. It didn't matter. Steph wasn't just scoring. He was dragging the Warriors back into rhythm, back into energy, back into identity. But Golden State didn't survive this one on Steph's magic alone. The night tested the team's depth in ways that should worry anyone following this season. Jonathan Kuminga's injury was a massive blow, not just because of his athleticism, but because of how much he has grown. His rebounding has taken a leap. His decision-making has sharpened. His ability to attack mismatches and create pressure has become essential. Losing him exposed just how thin the margin has become for this roster. And this is where Moses Moody stepped up. At a moment when the Warriors desperately needed stability, Moody delivered timely scoring, strong defensive positioning, and reliable shooting. In his return to the starting lineup, he didn't just fill a spot. He bought the Warriors' breathing room when everything felt unstable. His defensive reads, his off-ball rotations, his willingness to take big shots without hesitation all contributed to keeping Golden State afloat until Steph detonated. Then there was Jimmy Butler, who quietly delivered one of the most complete all-around performances of the season. 28 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, 0 turnovers. But what mattered most wasn't the box score. It was a defensive identity he gave the team. His intensity, his instincts, and his presence triggered the Warriors' defensive activity. And that activity created something they desperately needed: transition offense, easy points, momentum fuel, the type of possessions that helped Steph stay in rhythm, and that tilted the game even further in Golden State's favor. Those defensive stops weren't flashy, but they were vital. Jimmy jumping passing lanes, guards applying pressure, bigs contesting without fouling. Suddenly the Spurs were turning the ball over. The Warriors were running, and the game's tone had shifted. On a night when a team could have folded, their defense opened the door for a legendary offensive display. And through all the highs, all the chaos, all the inconsistencies, there's one more truth about this team. They face one of the toughest schedules in the league. Multiple back-to-backs, brutal travel stretches, rosters adjusting on the fly. And yet, even through that turbulence, bright spots have emerged. None brighter than Will Richard, who continues to impress with confidence, composure, and a natural feel for the NBA game. His development is a reminder that this roster still has pieces growing, progressing, and adding value. So what does this one mean? It means the Warriors still have heart. They still have toughness. They still have the greatest shooter of all time capable of rewriting a game, and a season with a single quarter of basketball. It means there are still sparks on this team worth believing in: Moody's reliability, Jimmy's leadership, Kuminga's evolution, Richard's rise. It means that when everything feels like it's slipping, when the criticism gets loud, when the standings don't look flattering, Golden State can still punch back. And above all, it means that Stephen Curry, even at 37 years old, can still silence the NBA with nothing but movement, mastery, and pure competitive fire. If you want more breakdowns like this, more emotional narratives, and more deep dives into every Warriors rumor, update, and miracle moment, make sure you subscribe to Eerie Glow. Hit that like button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter of this incredible season. And here's the key takeaway from the channel. Delve into financial education to enhance your quality of life. Within the financial market, explore bonds and shares, particularly focusing on real estate investment trusts, which offer potential for passive income. Engage with this responsibly and consider reputable investment brokerages worldwide.